Scott Ellis and welcome to The Guide Show. Joining me today is Nathan Oliveri and we're looking at Big Brother, the 10th incarnation of the reality show that turns nobodies into stars. And Nathan, you have a bit of an insight into what it's like in the house because you went inside this year for a night, didn't you?
I did. You graciously sent me in there for a night. I know you'd done it a few years before.
Yeah, it was never going back.
Yep, never. Well, I was lucky enough to do it this time.
So what's it like this year?
You have the divide in the house now. We've got the safe house, so, you know, the luxurious pad that everyone's used to in Big Brother. And then we've got the halfway house, so basically, you know, sort of a peasant life existence. And that really does become apparent as soon as you walk in there. Cliques start to form, you know, people don't really talk to each other across the divide, which is one of the most interesting things.
You never know who's going to have to vote you out.
Absolutely. So you'd think that you'd want to be really, really nice to everyone that was, you know, on the other side. But the other thing that I noticed, you know, the cameras really melt away pretty quickly. You don't really notice they're there, you know, within the first 10 minutes. You forget you've got your body mic pack on. So you really do start to just sort of melt into yourself and sort of, you know, start to sort of fire up at little things and, you know, get a bit on edge because it is a bit of a weird existence. You're in sort of like a fishbowl, effectively, where, you know, everyone's watching you and everyone's sort of judging you and talking about you. But at the end of the day, you know, you are completely, you know, isolated from the entire world. So you've lost all sense of yourself and all sense of time. And, you know, it ends up dissolving into just an absolute madness. I was really glad to get out. And then, you know, they take you behind the scenes and you have a look out the back and the control room. I mean, I've never had more reason to sort of worship the Truman Show. Like, they got it absolutely spot on, nailed it. And it's very weird having, you know, seeing yourself played back to yourself with narration. Very odd feeling. Anyway, let's take a look.
Tully, you have a problem with the halfway house?
Just having that see-through wall up is just, it's already made it hard to try and get to know everybody. And I think the power is going to some people's heads. I don't know, I just feel like if I was on the other side, I would be going above and beyond to make my side feel like it's no big deal. Like, Heidi has been really good with making us feel like it's not a big deal, and I think that some of the other housemates don't seem to have any interest in mingling with us mere commoners.
Are you surprised you're feeling this way?
No, I knew I'd cry.
It's kind of weird because you get all of these big personalities into the house, and they do it on purpose. They choose people who they think are going to clash. They choose people who they think are going to polarise. So you've got stereotypes in there, and then you've got people who are just not even stereotypes. They're big stereotypes. So you've got caricatures of stereotypes trying to make themselves even bigger so that they can get as much airtime as possible. It's weird that people, you know, as you said, from the inside it's odd, but it's even odder from the outside because you watch it and after about 3 or 4 months you think, why am I still here? I don't know these people. How did they become my best friend?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you know, Channel 9 have been really conscious of that moving forward. You know, it's their second season and they did pretty well last year. They were averaging about 1 million a night, which was a really great success for them. So they've needed to shake it up and they've installed this gimmick, this halfway house thing. And I think that's going to give them the lift that they need because, you know, looking at the ratings from the opening night, you know, that, yeah, I thought at the beginning, you know, why would you put it up against X Factor? You know, it's a ratings juggernaut. It does so well. But, you know, it did pretty comparably. And in the key demographics, the younger demographics, it actually outrated X Factor. So I think that they've really captured that young audience who, you know, are still, you know, fresh and, you know, haven't experienced the novelty of Big Brother before.
I think what it proves too is that people are more interested in fame than talent. So, you know, you can watch X Factor and you can think, okay, wow, this person's probably going to get through and they're going to be famous. But these guys are famous from the start. They get in there and all they have to do is sit around and scratch their backsides and drink water and everybody is watching them. And I suppose for the demographic that they're targeting, that's the attraction. It's like, you know, hey, I too can be famous. This is, once again, people are going to go through the roof trying to line up to get into this again. Obviously, your advice would be think twice.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons why Big Brother cops so much flack from its critics. I mean, people line Big Brother up with something like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo as like the social decay of, you know, of present day life. It's pretty crazy. But I think at the same time, you know, it is a guilty pleasure. We love to watch this stuff. And especially the younger demographics, you know, in this sort of like fame culture where anyone can really have their 15 minutes of fame. I think that it really taps into that sort of zeitgeist where, you know, yes, that could be us, you know, next year, a few years down the track.
The amount of times I've heard people watching it going, I'm far more interesting than that. Why isn't there a camera on me now? It's like, because you're not in the Big Brother house and you can see them go, next year. Well, that's Big Brother. It's on 9. We'll see you next time.